Meet Natalie. Natalie loves books.
This is your brain on books. Any questions? And this is Angela. She's a very serious jazz singer.
Shooby-dooby-dooby-doop-doop-doo. And sure, we both like to stay informed, but this world sometimes, am I right? You know what we need? 30 minutes of meditation.
Pop culture meditation.
So we're here to remind you.
We get it. You're smart. But right now, take a deep breath and put your books down.
And action.
Roll them.
Natalie, I was an actress. Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Angela.
Hi, Natalie.
Hi, Angela.
How do you feel today? You feel good?
Yeah, I feel good and smart.
Yeah, you're smart. You're like, Sadie, married lady, see what's on my
I'm not
hand.
married yet, but I have obviously have secretly earned a lot of diplomas. That, as you can see behind me, that I had never revealed before. Because our whole thing is that I'm this like encyclopedia of useless information of pop culture.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But who's laughing now? Yeah, put your books down.
Yeah.
I have 1, 2, 3, 4, like what? I have 5 diplomas behind me.
Yeah, you got a lot. You're smart.
Smarty
extremely
pants.
Smart.
Yeah.
Smarty Pants McGee right over here.
And I don't think doctors find
it
offensive when you take credit for their hard work and say that you earned the diplomas and they didn't. I don't think that's offensive.
There's people running our country right now doing that, and they don't. Nobody seems to mind. So
all right.
I know. Sorry. Hey, girl. So today we're going to talk about one of our favorite movies that we've ever seen ever.
So I am a little nervous about this because we are taking a real gamble here, and we might lose our listener if we do this, but it has to be said. And
it has to be said. It has to be done. So the movie is called.
Maybe this will open some eyes. So
well, and I think it could be educational for people because maybe they don't know like what we're about to talk about, like all the ins and outs. But anyway, everybody, the movie is called You've Got Mail.
Yep.
And what's that, Nat?
Is it? Yep.
Yeah. You got mail. It was a 1998 American romantic comedy film directed by Nora Ephron, starring Tom Hanks and Meg Ryan, inspired by the 1937 Hungarian play Parfumerie by Miklos Laszlo, which had earlier been adopted in 1940 as The Shop Around the Corner, and in 1949 as In the Good Old Summertime. It was written by Nora and Delia Ephron. It tells the story of two people in an online romance who are unaware they are also business rivals. Mm-hmm. It marked the third pairing of Hanks and Ryan, who previously appeared together in Joe versus the Volcano in 1990 and also Sleepless in Seattle in 1993, the latter directed by Ephron. The film takes its name from the greeting AOL users receive when they get a new email.
You've got mail.
You've got mail. But Natalie, should we reveal what we have renamed this movie first right off the bat?
You came up with one, and then I already had one before you told me yours.
So we talk about movies here, and we try to be cool, and we love Meg Ryan, we love Tom Hanks, like
no doubt.
Especially during that era, they were so delightful in every way, right? Mm-hmm. But as I'm watching this 2-hour long rom-com,
air quotes,
which is really not that calm, by the way.
It's not funny.
I didn't find any calm in this.
I didn't find one calm.
I decided to rename it You've Got Gaslighting.
Yeah.
Because that's pretty much it.
The first note I have is, ugh, all caps. This movie should be called Emotional Cheaters.
Emotional Cheaters. That should be the name of the film. Yeah. Emotional Cheaters.
Let's just get right into it, Ange.
Okay.
What is this movie about these two people with they have their respective partners. They're in relationships. Meg Ryan's in a relationship with Greg Kinnear, who, by the way, is insufferable in this movie. And then Tom Hanks is in a relationship with Parker Posey. I don't even want to address that character she played. Okay, we have to forget about it. And they
said she makes coffee nervous. That's Yeah.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So
That's
they are with their partners, okay? They're in
yeah.
relationships. Tom Hanks even lives with his girlfriend. And
Yes.
they hang out with them, have dinner, have fun chats, and then they wait for their partner to go to sleep and
Or
sneak
leave
out
the
of their
house.
beds to go online and secretly chat with their
Mhm.
online romance
Well,
person.
and they're not
Okay.
really, like, in a romance, they're just talking, but this is, like,
Hmm.
the era of, like, when AOL chat rooms first became, like, a real thing in, like,
Yeah.
1997, 98, and, like, people were so like, the opening credits of the movie are all, like, space agey, like, information flying through the air on the satellite, like, in, like, cartoonish,
They're
are we
not
watching
using
Star
the
Trek?
they're not using the internet for that. They're not trying to
They're
learn anything except how to be bad people.
I know, but that's what I'm saying is, like, it just it did let's just this movie does not hold up well. Let's just
No,
put
it
it that
doesn't.
way.
It's
It does
just
not
they're just really shitty people in this movie.
right, okay, so let's give them a little bit of plot. So they're chat cheating, first of all.
Because if
It
you're
turns
doing it
out
and you don't want your person to see it and, like, you're
yeah,
hiding it, then
yeah,
obviously you know it's not right, right? I mean, like,
yeah.
that's
It's
not
chat cheating.
that's chat cheating. I mean, that's not cool. You could be
Right,
like, "Hey, I'm gonna go respond to my, internet friend that probably is wildly inappropriate," but if you're upfront and honest about it and your
right,
partner doesn't care, then you're not doing anything wrong,
right.
okay?
Exactly.
So,
Because they know about that person.
correct.
And these are why people by the way, everybody, this is why people end up with Facebook accounts that say, like, Frank and Angie Longino, and it's all one word, okay? This is why
Mhm.
that happens, because of chat cheaters, okay? Because people can't
And
trust
that's
their
their
spouse.
punishment. Their punishment is to put both names on their
Ugh,
accounts.
ugh, it's just
Yuck.
like,
Yeek.
yuck, yuck.
Okay.
So, they're obviously these 2 people, they're successful, blah, blah, blah. She owns this very, very successful children's bookstore that is like a New York institution that has been there forever, and it's this charming, adorable bookstore. Meg Ryan is adorable in this movie. I mean, her
Adorable.
hair, her
Oh,
clothes, as per usual.
as per usual, like, it's my dream hairdo that would never work for me ever in my whole life. My hair's too straight. But her style with she's got the loafers with the tights. I loved that. I loved loafers in the 90s.
I know.
And with she did it with pencil skirts and cardigans and like tight, like a fitted sweater with like bigger skirt. I mean, it's just all
Yeah,
of it. I would wear everything she wore in this movie now.
yeah, yeah. The jumper with the, like, really
The
starched,
jumper's
like,
so cute.
collar. I know,
Mhm.
so cute.
And she pulls off a turtleneck with that narrow neck. I can tell you that
She
right
really
now.
does. I
She
mean,
can
she
wear a
really does.
turtleneck.
She
Mm,
can wear put her on the list. She can wear a
she
turtleneck.
can wear
Yeah,
one. We'll tell Holly.
tell Holly.
We will.
So,
You know
her
who's
store
not
is great.
charming in this movie?
Mm.
Tom Hanks is not this is the only movie I've ever seen him where I did not find him charming,
And
including that Road to Perdition. I thought he was charming in that movie, and he's like a bad guy. He's also a bad guy in this movie.
that
I
road
thought he
part.
was charming in Joe versus Volcano, and that
Oh,
movie is
Natalie.
garbage,
Well, you have a thing for Tom Hanks, though, so that
but
makes
not like
sense.
that. I don't know.
I
My
know.
thing for Tom Hanks is
I
that
know.
I like it's very
It's
fatherly,
very yeah, fatherly. Yeah, I get that.
but
Yeah.
I can say I know charm when I see it, whether it's
You
a
do.
father figure or what. And this
Yeah.
character, this Tom Hanks, is not charming. His
He's
clothes
not
are not
charming.
charming. It's
No.
all like this. It's almost like what Mr. Big tried to be like. He's very Mr. Big in
He
this
I
movie.
oh, yeah, you're right.
You
Oh
know,
god, yes.
the black shirt with the black tie with the black. I mean, it was just like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
we get it. You're corporate. I'm sorry. Go
yeah.
ahead. Sorry.
So the plot is that they start chatting online. They have all this stuff in common. It turns out that Meg Ryan, this big gigantic superstore, is opening around the corner from her little shop, and they're going to basically put her out of business because she can't compete with the big box, like big gigantic, like Barnes and Noble Borders style
Fox Books.
bookstore, and
Yeah.
it's called Fox Books. And we find out pretty close to the beginning that the guy she's chatting with online is Joe Fox of Fox Books, and he's the one putting her out of business,
And
basically.
they don't know they don't
And
know each other's names or who they
right.
are.
The watcher understands who these 2 people are and understands the problem,
Right.
but neither of them understand that they're chatting with this other person, okay? So there's their
Right.
automatic nemesis in real life. They've actually met, and it's like he's her nemesis, blah, blah, blah. He comes into her store, they meet, blah, blah, blah. It's this he refuses to tell her his name. Like,
And then
it's just
he
this
ends
whole
up
setup.
figuring it out first.
Because,
Well,
Natalie.
hold on.
Mhm.
Because well, go ahead and say that, and then
Mhm.
I'm gonna he,
So they end up deciding the chat cheaters decide that they're gonna meet. So the chat cheaters decide they're gonna have a chat cheater meetup, and
Mhm.
so she tells him, "I'm gonna be sitting at the in the restaurant with a
With a
book with a
rose.
rose in it." Okay.
That's platonic.
Yeah. So I will say something. I love the cast in this movie because Dave Chappelle plays
I
his
love
like
Dave
business
Chappelle in this
manager.
movie.
I love
I
Dave
love him all
Chappelle
the
in this
time.
movie. Yeah, I love Steve Zahn in this movie.
I love Suzanne and everything.
I love Maureen Stapleton. Like
I
she's
love
Edith Bunker. Like,
yeah.
um,
Oh, Edith.
and he goes to meet her, and Dave Chappelle is like, he goes, "Go look and see what she looks like." Also, so misogynistic. He's like, "Go see what she looks like. If she's a total dog, then like I don't want to meet her." Like, what the hell's that? Like, so gross. Like
Tom Hanks
you
saying that
you
is
know,
like it's like blasphemy.
it's just
He's not
gross.
like that. It's gross.
Ugh, it's just gross. So Dave Chappelle's like, "Well," and they already know who this woman is, Catherine, because they've met her and they already know that they're putting her out of business and they already know that they're already rivals. And he's
Right.
like, "Well, she's really, really pretty. She's and she looks like a really successful, beautiful woman." And he's like, "Okay, well, do I know her?" Like, no, he doesn't. He's like, "You might actually, I think you know her." And then Tom Hanks goes and looks and sees Meg Ryan sitting in there in the cafe and then decides, Natalie, to
Mhm.
what?
To stand her up.
Right.
He
So this
doesn't
is the
go in
turning
there.
point.
Oh, wait, he
This
does wait. He stands her up and then he goes back and pretends to not
ugh,
know why. This is
it
the gaslighting, in
it
my
ugh,
opinion. This is the beginning of it. Like,
this is the turning point.
after the Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks are gaslighting their significant others already,
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure.
So, I
Yeah.
mean, that's for sure. But, he stands her up, and, she's obviously upset. Duh. Then he decides to come in and pretend like he randomly came in there, sat down, and was
This is where
asking
it
her
starts.
about what she thought about him, narcissist, and
Yeah.
was wanting like scoop on himself when she's like got her feelings are crushed. Like her feelings are so hurt. He sees how upset she is, and he's just like, I mean, that's cool. He just lets her wonder
Be
if he
upset.
came in. He lets her wonder if he came in, saw her, and left like every person's nightmare.
Yeah.
Like,
He
what
plants
if he
that
came in here, saw
seed.
him, and he left?
I mean, she the
I
I
know, I know,
it's
I know.
so do people so this is why I was so disturbed by this particular turning point in the movie. It's like, does she really devalue herself that much that like she's gonna allow this guy who's her nemesis to sit there and talk to her like that? Like to make her wonder if there's something wrong with her because this guy she was supposed to meet like stood her up?
Well, quite frankly, I mean, if you wanna get to it, he's bullying her. This is
He's
actually
bullying her.
bullying. He's bullying her when she's already mortified, and he knows that
Yes.
she's mortified,
Mhm.
and he's basically like, "Why do you like this guy?"
Mhm.
What a dog,
I
okay?
know.
I mean,
Yes.
total like, Tom Hanks has 0 redeeming qualities in this movie.
Yep.
He except I mean, he likes dogs. I appreciate that he
Right.
likes dogs,
Sure.
and he's a complete narcissist. I mean,
Yep.
you know?
Yes.
And but back to okay, so that's when all like, the audience is supposed to be like, "Oh, they're gonna figure it out." It's not all. To me, I'm like,
Uh-uh.
"If that were me
I know.
and I figured it out,
Yeah.
I would raise hell. You might have to get a restraining order."
I
And I have
know.
always, like, been very, uh, prideful? What's the word?
Yeah.
I've been very proud, and
Proud.
like, with breakups and stuff, I would never send, like, I didn't want it to be I wouldn't be the crazy one because
Right.
people
You would just
screenshot and send it like we all do with everybody else. So, like, I never would do that, but with this, if this
yeah.
happened to me,
Yeah.
I would unleash. I would completely
Yeah.
because to me, that is the cruelest thing, and the thing is even at the end, spoiler alert, no one
Yeah.
cares.
Right.
It takes them 2 seconds. It ends real quickly with them meeting at the garden. Once actually, not only does she meet him at the end and was like, "I was hoping it was you," after
Ugh.
he basically tries to woo her as himself, pretending not to be the online guy, which she still chats with after standing her up.
This is what is so
I
r
mean, girl, she don't love
ugh.
herself, all right?
She this is what
She does
bothered
not
me
love
so
herself.
much. It bothered she does not
I
love
know.
herself. And the fact
I
that
know.
this narrative is, like, supposed to be this, like, rom-com, delightful little ha-ha Meg Ryan and Tom Hanks movie, like, in the '90s, and that we all look at it and go, "Oh, You've Got Mail, that was that cute rom-com. That was that cute, like, little love story." No, it's actually
No, it's
not cute.
Sleepless in Seattle
It
is
that's the
amazing
one, yeah,
and still
but
kinda
this
weird, but
one
amazing.
yeah, but this one is like it's just if that's the narrative that you're supposed to be, like, treated like crap by some guy who's pretending to be somebody else online, and then suddenly it turns out that the guy who's treating you like crap and putting you out of business,
Yeah.
he's putting
By
her
the
out
way,
of
corporate
business.
dudes don't and, like, you kinda think at one point that he's going to stop doing what he's doing, like, that
Right,
he's gonna not put her
out of business.
bookstore that's called Shop Around the Corner. By the way, if you name a bookstore the Shop Around the Corner, that doesn't let anyone know it's a bookstore, so no wonder, I mean, like, it was gonna be, like, flipped to the side. No one's gonna be like, "Oh, a bookstore. I wanna go get a book there." You
Well,
think you're gonna
okay,
go it's like a
but
bodega. It sounds like a
yeah,
bodega. Anyway,
but
but there's that. And then, like, he was kind of alluding, like, this would never happen. It kind of alludes that he's gonna like, he's having a change of heart. No, he's because also corporate dudes don't give in to small businesses, okay? They want
right,
it's money and power, and especially little, like, bohemian literary chicks that aren't putting out, okay?
right,
He was
yeah,
getting
right,
frustrated with her, trying to
right,
woo her and convince her that they should be together, taking care of her while she's sick. Not I mean, because she
yeah.
still doesn't know who he really is, and he knows everything. He knows all of it. He has the power. He's the, like, got the strings puppet master.
Yeah.
Sorry, I
It
just
it's no, I mean, look,
really
it's
freaked out there for a second. I'm sorry
some of
about
the
that.
notes I took was like, okay, there's this part where, she gets sick after does she finds out that it's him, right?
No.
No, no, she doesn't
She
find out
doesn't
it's him
find
until the
out till the
very end.
very, very end. No. Also,
Ugh,
so she breaks up with Greg Kinnear,
right, she
but
breaks up
before
with
they
Greg
break
Kinnear.
up,
Oh,
there
their
was a
breakup
part
was
in
so
this movie that
stupid
they're
too.
it would never happen, by the
It would
way.
never, ever
They
happen
were
that way.
watching some like, he was this, journalist,
Mhm.
and he was trying to help her save her store, her bodega
Yes,
bookstore,
right, yes,
and there's, like, a scene where he's on TV promoting this bookstore with this, news correspondent woman that obviously there's chemistry between them,
yes,
and she's in the, like, throes of an emotional affair, and she gets annoyed when Greg Kinnear like, she sees there's, like, a
yes,
spark between him and the news gal,
yeah,
and
yeah,
she gets annoyed while he's on TV promoting her store.
right, right,
So
right.
she's an asshole too, okay?
Everybody I'm just gonna say,
Like,
like,
you can't just get mad at
it
him, he's not doing
I
anything wrong.
I know, I don't this is like Nora Ephron too, like, I like When Harry Met Sally, like, come on, Nora, like,
You know,
this
sometimes
is
you gotta
like
know when to fold them. You know what I'm saying?
this was, like, not this is just the message, I just hate this message so much, like, I just hate it. If this is the message that young women and women of the world are supposed to take home with you, like, okay, just if this guy is a jerk to you, it's almost like that same thing of like, if he's being a jerk to you, it's because he likes you. Like that
Yeah,
whole
oh,
thing.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Here's the thing. Here's some things that for me could have made this a lot better, this storyline. Here are some things. He could have decided, I know I'm putting this woman out of business because I have this big store. I'm going to help her open a little bookstore in a different part of town so that she can have like a second one so that that one can be like a real moneymaker, and we're going to give it a totally different branding and totally different whatever, and she'll be able to like expand her business. He should be
Uh-huh.
helping her expand her business.
And what did he do? He let her be devastated, not know what she was gonna do with her life, and then she figured out that she wanted to write children's books, and he was like and you know he basically was taking credit for that.
Yeah,
"Well, you should
because
be doing that
yes.
anyway." Well, that's not up to you, dude,
No.
to
I know.
decide for anyone.
I know. It's just
Easy,
too
Tom
much
Hanks.
gaslight. It's too much gaslighting. It's too much making her think she's doing something wrong. It's too much making her think that she's not enough, and that like
Right.
it's not just that he's lying to her, it's that she's walking around thinking that she's a big failure,
Yeah,
and she's not.
and she's not.
And she's not giving herself the credit that she deserves. This guy is just totally messing with her,
I know.
right?
Yes, I
So
mean
then they start becoming friends, though. Then they start
right,
becoming, like, real friends in real life, like,
right,
trying
because
to
he helps her
become
when she's
friends.
sick.
He comes over to her house. Now, how does he know where she lives? I didn't understand that. How does he
Well,
know
I
where
don't
she lives?
I just figure in the 90s, corporate people got all information and I mean, they knew everything. I don't know.
That must be what it was like. Through the magic of movie
The
making, he
man,
knows
the magic of
the
the
man.
man.
The magic of the man.
He
Yes.
knew where she lived, or he followed her. I mean,
Yeah.
quite
Yeah.
frankly,
Hmm.
but he showed up with
He shows up at her
flowers.
house with flowers and blah blah blah, and I'm just like, you can't just show up with flowers at my house after you've been this abusive to me. You can't just put me out of business, ruin my entire livelihood, and
Well,
then
she tries to get him to leave, and he won't leave.
right. Again,
So,
another
like,
gross thing.
again, you
He won't
can't.
leave. Take
He
no for
won't
an answer.
leave.
There's a lot of fish in the sea. Like, he could have pursued somebody else. It would have
But
been
that's what he
appropriate.
wanted. She was
I
what he
know.
wanted.
I know.
But
This
but
is like a
then
message that is wrong, though.
and
Like,
it's not a good message. It's not. This is encouraging bad behavior. Okay,
it's
this isn't. It's
encouraging
not
bad behavior.
romantic. Yeah, if
No, it's
someone says,
not.
"I don't want you over here. I don't want you to come over," don't go over there.
Right.
Okay,
Don't try
he
to.
or she might change her mind, but
Right.
just let them do that. Okay,
Also,
it's not a good time.
remember that Joe Fox now knows who she is
Yeah,
and knows that she's the one he's chatting with. He
right.
knows everything
She's
and he's
wildly
pulling all of the
vulnerable
strings.
inside and out.
Yes.
And
Yes.
even online. And so he brings her, like, he helps her when she's sick, and then they become friends, and they like go to lunch and do all these things, and then he starts like making, comments about they should be together, and like, who cares about this online guy, that kind of thing. And he's
Ugh.
trying to get, so basically when the shit hits the fan, he wants to be like, well, this is who I am. I'm really not this like horrible asshole,
Right.
which he's trying to have this like self-reflection transformation. And
Yeah.
the only interesting part was there was some part where like they thought Tom Hanks was the Unabomber. And of course I was like, oh, that's interesting. And it was for 2 seconds. Like, I don't know,
That was Steve Zahn.
that thought he was the Unabomber because they
No,
read the paper and there was this article about, and it was basically, what
oh,
was it
that's
that
right.
made,
No,
they were
it
like,
wasn't the Unabomber. It was like some guy who bombed something or did some terror attack.
right.
And
And
they're
they were
reading
like,
it and they're
it's
like, well,
gotta
we
be
don't know who
him.
that's him.
It must be
Right.
him.
Right. Because he
Which
didn't
does
show
not
up.
fit into the movie.
Which is the reason why he didn't show up
Right. Which
to
is
meet you for a
bonkers.
drink, which is bonker balls.
But I
Like,
liked it. I
clearly
was
it
like, oh,
must
I
be
like
that. Yeah.
this.
You're like, oh, maybe this will go off in
Well,
this
how
direction.
sweet are they that they're like, oh, we're gonna just say that the only reason he wouldn't show up for you is because it has to be something wild, like he's
Her
the
friends are
Unabomber.
trying to
They're
make her
really
feel better.
sweet.
Yes.
But
Yes.
eventually, Tom Hanks, I guess, I don't know. Oh, there was something, he upset her again. He upset her again, and he said something like, will you forgive me? Like, he like stood her up again, or didn't show up or something again as himself, as Joe Fox, with the friend thing.
Right.
And he said something like, I wish you would, about forgiveness. And I was like, well, that's sweet. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
that. I would like,
Yeah.
not enough to salvage this movie, but
Right.
I do like, I
That
love when
was
people ask for forgiveness, and I love forgiveness, and I love asking for forgiveness. I mean, okay,
yes.
nobody loves doing it, but
No, but
I
it's the
appreciate it.
right thing to do.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it feels good,
Yes, it
like when
does.
you can just like ask for forgiveness. And he was like, I wish you would. And it was the one time it was said very Tom Hanks like, and he had that face, and I was like,
Yeah.
where has he been this whole movie? Okay,
I know.
he's
I
not
know.
here. Okay,
He not
he's not been here. But like, what the
Nope.
hell does he do to fix this exactly? Angela, tell
Nothing.
me at the very end.
I
Here we
don't
go.
know.
They're in a garden. I guess it's
I
Central
don't know.
Park.
Central Park.
And then what happens?
He tells her online, why don't you meet me at 4:00 at this place in Central Park or River,
Almost
I
the
don't know,
gardens.
whatever it is. I'll be with Brinkley. Is that the
Brick,
dog's name?
Brixby,
Brink
Brixby, the
Brixby?
dog, the golden retriever.
Brinkley. Is it Brixby?
Brixby. I don't know.
Brinksley. I don't know. This dog.
Yeah,
It's a dog.
got it. Sounds a little
Sorry, I didn't mean to sound like.
Sounds like we're having technical difficulties, as we are
Well,
not.
yeah. So anyway, she meets him. Well, first they have lunch.
Yeah.
Joe Fox and her have lunch and talk about how she's going to meet this guy from the internet at 4:00 at the park and da 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 da. I mean,
And he
come
wants her to
on.
forgive her. Oh, I know. He wants her to forgive him for putting her out of business. That's what he wants
Right.
forgiveness for.
Yeah. Right.
That's a tough one.
At the last minute before, yeah, that's tough one.
That's toughy. That's a toughie.
But
Might take
also
a couple years.
her in her mind, she's like, well, I've never been really living a big life, so this was actually meant to be anyway. Like, girlfriend, what?
Did you see her apartment?
I know. Like, what do you mean you're not living a big enough life? You're living in your little
she's
shell.
in like the Upper West Side with this huge apartment.
Gorgeous.
I mean, gorgeous.
I know.
So,
and she has
so
a successful bookstore that everybody loves. Come
Maybe
on.
she needed to do better marketing, though. Okay.
But she needed to give herself some credit, and somebody else. People should be giving her credit through this. She was successful.
She's super successful. And even if she wasn't super successful, she was doing something, she was trying something, she was working really hard at something that she was super passionate about, and it ran her family. She was trying to keep this family bookstore legacy going.
Right.
And it took 2 shakes for Joe Fox to be like, nah. And then he's not changing what's happening. He's like, I hope you can just like get over it.
Right. Just get over it. I mean, I hope you can just forgive me. Just get over it and date me.
Okay, now I'm mad about I wish you would.
The wish you would was not, I mean, it was, ugh. Anyway, so then the final scene is they meet up. The dog comes running towards her, and then around the corner, there's Tom Hanks, and they meet, and she looks at him, and she's like, oh my God, it's you. And
well, actually, she's crying really hard.
She's crying really hard.
To me, it looked like disappointment tears, but I guess
I was wondering that too.
Like, it was like this frowny face, like that frowny cry that you do, and you're like, mm-mm.
Yeah.
Like it's like, is that like that? I'm doing a fake cry. Like, like you're not happy about it.
And in that moment, I would be like, in that moment, this is what I was thinking when I was watching this.
She just didn't want to be alone.
I was like, this woman has been through the emotional ringer, and she's crying because she's been through the emotional ringer. If that were me, I would be crying because I was so upset by all the events of everything that was going on in my life. Right. Yeah. And then to see that it's this guy and like, oh my God, you did this.
It would have been a huge kick in the crotch.
You did this.
I don't promote violence, but drop kick his crotch.
You're the guy who did this. Oh my God. Like,
did all of this have been putting me through all of this, like, shame spiral, failure pile, made me feel like a pile of dirty laundry. I mean, just
all of it.
Horrible.
And my livelihood to boot.
But no, that's not what happens.
She goes.
First of all,
he goes, don't cry.
Oh yeah, stop telling me what to do. Stop telling her what to do, man.
Oh my God, don't cry. What?
Oh, don't cry.
What?
She's crying because you're an asshole, and she's so upset that it's you. But you wore her down. You wore her down, man. That's
all that happened was she got worn down.
She got worn down
by
she's
a
like,
bully.
Okay, already.
Yes,
fine. He won't stop.
This is exactly.
He's not gonna go away. I give up.
I guess I love him now.
Yeah, I guess he's my person. I mean, if I thought it was for the dog, I'd be like, okay, fine. But it wasn't. She didn't give the dog a lot of attention. I mean, I doubt she even knew his name. That's neither here nor there.
I don't even know his name. Brixley, Brinkley, whatever.
Something like that. It's something like that.
But anyway, the thing I was thinking.
Well, you didn't finish, so he's like, don't cry.
Don't cry. And then she goes, I wanted it to be you.
I wanted it to be you. I wanted it to be you.
And
no, you didn't. No, you didn't.
No, you didn't. This is the other thing. Are women really this confused, Natalie? Are women really this confused?
I think, no. She had been so emotionally abused that she was she waved a white flag. She waved a white flag to a bunch of red flags. Hey, we need to make that a t-shirt. I'm actually proud of that. She waved a white flag to a buttload of red flags.
Because she's just worn out.
Oh, I would have immediately been like, well, we obviously have to go to couples counseling. I mean, There's no
this is
honeymoon phase here because we need to
Nuh-uh.
get to work. We have some stuff to work through. Your incredible deception, your problem with
Right.
deception,
Yeah.
and the fact that you're a con artist. I don't know.
Right. Right.
And then at that point, I'd be like, cut me a check. If, like,
Oh,
for everything you've done, write me a check.
write me
Big
a check.
businessman.
Yeah. Hi. Guess what?
Punitive
Write me a check.
damages. Punitive damages.
100%. No, you're
100%.
right. You're
I
absolutely
know. I know. I'm right.
right. I mean, this is why
Like Sleepless in Seattle. I love Sleepless in Seattle. Like, just should have left
I
it
don't e
alone. Leave it at Sleepless in Seattle. Like, what are you doing? Don't.
I know.
It's like one of those things where it's like you're eating I don't know, something really delicious, and then you, and I'm not trying to offend my father. I love my father more than life itself, but it's like putting a bunch of ketchup on like a hollandaise sauce.
Ew.
Well, I'm trying to
No,
be
no one I
extreme
know
here.
would do what?
Well, it's a metaphor. It's like
Oh,
it's
okay. No
a
one I know would
literary.
do that. Do
Well,
I?
I'm saying Nora Ephron would because she
Yeah.
did.
This
Okay,
that's what happened on this for sure.
she went and Dawn.
Mhm.
She done did
She did that.
covered Sleepless in Seattle with ketchup
Yep.
because
Yeah.
this Sleepless in Seattle was a great movie. Pretty weird, a little weird. Meg Ryan
Yeah.
was a little bit of a psychopath, but that's okay. Like, it was
Right.
also romantic. You could find the romance in that, right?
Yes.
And the
Yes.
hand holding, and there's no, like,
Right.
it was actually, and it was really funny, and it was super charming, and
Right.
everybody was so cute and funny and darling, and
Yes.
the
Yes.
kids, like all of that.
I know.
And then you get this pile of crap.
I know. You know what I was thinking too? You want romance? I'll tell you what romance is, people. Ladies, if you are listening to this and you have watched this dog crap movie, here's what I want to tell you. Here's what is romantic. You meet a special guy
Or
through
girl.
or a girl, whatever. You meet a special person through a friend or something. You meet up. Maybe you have a little meet cute. Maybe you text. Maybe you find out you go out on a date. You sit there and talk all night long. You drink wine. You laugh your heads off. You have a great time. You start dating. You find out he's a really good person. You know,
Yeah.
that's romance.
Yep.
Or you meet a guy in a bar in Brooklyn and you talk all night long and you find out that like he's a really good guy and then like you don't want to kiss him because you're like, "Ooh, I don't want to get too involved too fast, blah blah blah." And then
Mm-hmm.
you know what I mean? And then like 2 weeks later you go and you see him in some kind of like opera improv performance and you see how cute he is and what he's doing and it turns out that he's like such a good guy and you start dating him and like then you live happily ever after and you get married and blah blah blah. That's
Well,
romance.
at least we didn't make this about us.
Exactly. Exactly. But I'm just telling
I
you,
mean,
ladies of
at
the
least
world,
we're not narcissistic.
we're not
I know that.
narcissists. It's not about
Not at all.
us. This
We
is
didn't
not
make this
about
about
us.
us at all.
But ladies of the world, just you don't have to take this crap from these
And
guys.
germs.
You don't have to have these fairy tale ridiculous like I guess anything could happen. Like I guess anybody could be the one. No.
No, I think a lot of that is just settling, and there. I mean,
Yeah. Right.
you know, and I mean, and also it's harder for women that, you know, want to have children, and like, there's extenuating circumstances, and I can't
I know.
imagine, like, I didn't have that, and I couldn't imagine the fear of like getting older and not, and like it's very different now. I mean, but this is like in the 90s, like it's very different now, and science is like super progressed, like so that you don't have to be afraid of not being able to have children. Like, we have
Right.
come over mountains and mountains.
Yes.
But there was a time when that was a fear, and it's like, if I don't do
Mhm.
this, then I'm going to miss out on something I really want in my life. So you and I, Angela, are just incredibly fortunate that we didn't
I know.
experience that. We didn't have
You're right.
that, but
Because
and
so
I
many
think it's
people I know
amazing
did.
what people,
Yeah.
yeah, and I think it's amazing what people will do to facilitate what they know they want in their lives, and then
Right.
just figure it out and figure it out. And
Yeah.
sometimes people move on from that and just
Yeah.
have these great kids, and
You're right.
sometimes they don't. But
You're absolutely right.
you're
And I
not
think that it's
wrong.
important. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think it's important. You're right to say like we're not blaming the Meg Ryan character here. We're
Mm-mm.
not blaming her. She is
Oh no.
victimized by this guy. We're not blaming her. I just want anybody who watches this movie to know like it does not have to be this way.
And she is just like, I mean, to
Yeah.
foreshadow another topic, we're going to discuss it another time. And then we changed it. She's a beat up piece of meat by the end of
Yep.
this. I mean, she's worn out. Okay, she's absolutely worn out. And
Yeah. And that's it. So anyway,
I think that
that's our
that's okay.
review of
You've
You've
Got
Got
Mail.
Gaslighting.
Emotional cheaters.
What did you say?
I said emotional cheaters. But also, I love Dave Chappelle. I love Steve Zahn. I mean, we love the cast. I
Yeah, we
love
love the
Meg
cast.
Ryan and
Yeah.
Tom Hanks and Greg Kinnear.
Yeah.
I just think that what they did with this movie is just not. When you first see this movie, like when I was young, I was like, oh, I love it.
Yes.
I didn't get it.
So cute.
And when
You
you're
didn't
watching
get
them
it.
older, I'm like, I know what they were trying to do. It just
Yes.
doesn't compute.
Does not. Good one. Good one. I see what you did there.
I'm on a roll.
You are, girlfriend. So, okay. So everybody, we're really sorry in advance if we've lost you here, and thank you for listening up to this point. If
Just
you
be
really
open to
love,
it. Just be open to it.
if you love You've Got Mail, we want to hear from you. We want to hear why you love it, and we want to hear if maybe you think we're taking it too seriously. Maybe
tell me.
we are bringing our own
Maybe-
gaslit trauma into the situation.
Right. Tell me to lighten up. Tell me to lighten up. And that's totally fine. I look, I welcome this
Yeah.
conversation. I need to it's like the Meet Joe Black thing. Lighten
Right.
up, Natalie. And
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. That
No
might
problem.
be me too. Don't ever tell me to lighten up, but yeah, I'll never.
Well,
Yeah.
don't tell me to calm down or shush me, or
No.
it will be a.
Yeah.
I mean, that's
Don't
a
tell me to
whole
lighten
other-
up
But you
or
can
dry
say,
up.
lighten up.
Like, hey, lighten
I've told
up.
you to lighten up. It didn't go
You have,
too
but
bad.
you.
I mean, I got the daggers, but you didn't say
Yeah.
anything.
Natalie, we have a very, very, very special pit stop.
Skirt.
Skirt, but it's not very happy.
No, I don't want to do it.
Do you want me to not say it?
No, we have to. It just happened. And
we have to raise a glass. Raise a glass.
I don't know if we should raise a glass.
A glass of water.
Water. I'm just going
to
do prayer hands.
Raising little prayer hands and say R.I.P. to the beautiful Matthew Perry.
I'm just devastated by this.
I know you are.
Friends has been a lifestyle for me and a lot of my friends, and I still watch it all the time. It's like it puts me to sleep. It's like I've been obsessed with it, and I've loved Matthew Perry. I've watched all of his. I love his movies. I love everything about Matthew Perry, and it's just. I mean, that man had serious charisma. He was an absolute comedian. He had the perfect comedic timing.
I know.
His sarcasm, I don't think it's possible for anyone that's ever watched Friends or him in a movie to not quote or take something from that. Like, could you be any more boring? Like stuff like that. Like everyone talks like that. And that is Matthew Perry completely created that with his character of Chandler. And I mean, Chandler, it's not hard to argue that it may have been the funniest. He was the funniest character. I think Lisa Kudrow also, but anyway, but Chandler was absolutely unique and new type of character to comedy for so many years. And my heart just breaks for his family. And did you know that his stepfather is Keith Morrison?
What? I did not know that.
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Dang. I'm trying not to make a joke right now.
Yeah. I should have waited to talk about that because anyway. But anyway.
No.
I know. Well, okay. I mean, I'm not mad at you about that. But anyway.
Sorry.
So again.
Yeah.
Horrible news. And we're going to be doing a Thanksgiving favorite holiday TV show episodes, and all of mine are from Friends, and a lot of mine are Chandler quotes and stuff like that. So we've already talked about that. So we will be revisiting there's a whole lot of Friends stuff coming up because anyway, I don't want to say, and I don't know how to end that.
Well, we just have to say thank you, Matthew Perry, for everything you brought to this world. And we're so glad that you put yourself out there, even though you were living in so much pain and you had so many demons in your life. And you still managed to put yourself out there and give us this body of work that was amazing and brought us so much happiness and joy and like iconic lines and just hilarious things that that are part of the wallpaper of our lives. Like it's ingrained in our generation for sure.
He left a mark.
He left a mark.
1,000,000% on comedy
did.
in general.
Absolutely.
Like
So
Eddie Murphy,
cheers.
like all of these people, like Chris
Yeah.
Farley, he's left a mark too.
So cheers to Matthew Perry.
Cheers to Matthew
Rest
Perry.
in peace.
Rest in peace.
And on that note, my little friend, we're going to leave and we're going to say goodbye, I guess, for this episode. Everybody, please keep rating us and please keep sending us Instagram notes. We love it when you send us notes.
Yes.
And we love it when you send us ratings. And if you want to talk about anything, we are here.
Give us topics. If any topics that you feel have not been touched on, send them.
Right. If you need us to explain anything to you, Natalie
will do it.
Natalie has all these diplomas now. And
I'm Captain Splainsies too.
She is. So. Look at her. Look at this background. She's
Dr.
got all these diplomas. Dr. Splainsies.
Yeah.
So
which means
just
like,
anything
please
you want.
watch our YouTube channel so you can see all my new diplomas. Then you need to watch us on YouTube. It's youtube.com/putyourbooksdown.
Put your books down. Put your books down. Yeah.
I put my books down after I got my diplomas.
Or I think it was maybe before. Yeah. I don't know.
I never had them.
Are those honorary degrees?
I would be the one to get honorary.
Yeah.
Not legit. Okay, well, I'm going to say to you.
Yeah.
Angela. Namaste. I'll be there for you.
Oh, that's just so delightful. And Natalie, to you, namaste, speaking the truth about chat cheaters.
Namaste. Bow now 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 now.
Namaste. Yes.
See?
Okay, that's it. Claps.
All right.
Yay. Okay. No. Love you. Bye. Bye. Now, isn't that better? Thanks for listening. Feel free to leave us a review and be sure to subscribe wherever you get your shows. Put Your Books Down is produced by ClantonCreative.com.